Good morning and welcome back to the Pendryhome, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am so excited to share this video with you, and I hope that it feels like a breath of fresh air. This is a video that I have been wanting to do for a while, and as you can see with it starting out, this is a Wednesday morning, and this is just all about homemaking and how to have a happy, healthy, and clean home daily, and 10 rituals that you can follow or do every single morning to have a God-honoring home that not only makes you feel better, but also makes your family feel better, and it just puts you in a better mood for your day. So I hope you guys enjoy this different kind of video, taking it slow with me. Some of these clips are in real time and some of them are sped up, and just enjoying the morning. And I hope you feel inspired to maybe change some things about your morning to have a more peaceful and relaxing and just an all-around better morning for you and your family. And it just puts you in a better mindset, makes you feel better, and really sets you up for a very productive day. So I always start by just waking up and opening up the curtains and letting in the natural light. The natural light really does something for your mind and body. It naturally wakes you up and puts you in a better mood. So all the natural light you can get is best for you. And then I always have Mr. Hungry and Mrs. Hungry, which she's black, so you can't really see her. But I have Feed Lady and Milo. And then I like to start straightening up around the house. And my first morning ritual would be to straighten up your living room and fold the blankets, fix the pillows. If you're like me and my husband, we always sit in the living room at nighttime before going to bed. He usually is watching TV and I catch up on YouTube videos, and we just kind of leave the living room, in a mess. And then the next morning I pick it up and straighten it up. And also my second ritual would be to light a candle, start your oil diffuser, just make your home smell good. Spray some room spray. It really sets the mood for your home, and if your home smells good, then you're gonna obviously want to make it look good too. So I'm starting my essential oil blend, and I'm just using orange and lavender together, and I love this blend. It's very energizing but calming at the same time, and I love the way that it smells. So I'm gonna start my blend, and then my third ritual is to pick up any other area. So like our entry area, which everybody uses the side door, and our breakfast nook table is kind of our catch-all table. So everything gets laid down there. So paperwork gets laid there, coats get laid there, shoes, everything. So since we don't really have like a full-on entryway, I guess this would kind of be like our entry. And so I also went to the grocery store the night before this and had some boxes broke down that needed to be taken outside. So I took those out, and then I just wanted to clean up. And then my fourth ritual is to start cleaning your kitchen. So I always leave my dishes from the night before to clean up the next morning, because I really like enjoying time with my husband, or if we have friends over or family after supper. Instead of being stuck in the kitchen, I would rather be in conversation with them. Now there's some nights that I will go ahead and wash dishes if I have a busier day, or a busier morning, like with appointments and stuff. But on this morning, I knew I wasn't going to have any, so I just cooked supper and left all the dishes to do this particular morning. Just clean up your kitchen in general. It really just makes you feel better. There's always going to be a dish, and it's always going to need to be like wiped down. Even if you don't have dishes to do, just wiping it down. And then my fifth ritual is to make yourself a cup of hot coffee or tea. This morning I chose to do coffee, but I have been on a tea kick here recently, and the lemon ginger tea has been mine and my husband's go-to. My husband drinks it every single morning, and I find myself reaching for it more than coffee most mornings now. And it is so good. I put pure honey in it and squeeze fresh lemon in with the tea, and it is just delicious. Talking about it makes me want some right now as I speak. But really just make yourself your favorite beverage. Maybe yours is just water and lemon, or maybe you like a soda in the morning. Get your favorite beverage and enjoy sipping on that throughout your morning while you are doing these mundane tasks. And it just puts you in a better mood. It wakes you up, makes you feel better. And there's just something about a warm cup of something in the morning, whether it be coffee or tea. It just is such a great thing. And your morning ritual doesn't always have to be just all about things that need to be done. Take time in your morning ritual or daily rituals to take care of yourself too. So that's another thing about this video, is not only am I completing those daily tasks and starting off my day very productively, but I'm also taking time to take care of myself and do things that make me happy. So it doesn't feel like such a chore. And I think that, we go through life, and, being a homemaker it's hard. It's work. It's a full-time job. Being a homemaker, being a wife, being a mother, just in general, taking care of a home, that we forget the beauty of what we're doing. And the beauty is in the Bible, in Proverbs. It speaks a lot about homemaking, and actually wrote down some Bible verses that I wanted to share with you guys about homemaking, and like why we do what we do. Why us women that are homemakers, why we do it. Why we do it not only for ourselves, but for our families, and to honor God and to honor our husbands, because that's what homemaking is about. We honor ourselves as a woman and doing what God has called us to do. We honor the Lord for doing those callings, and we also are honoring our husband, which is just very special. And growing up, I always knew that I wanted to do this, to care for my husband and be a homemaker and have children and care for them and provide a safe haven at home for my children. So I'm going to share with you some Bible verses that I have been studying and that really speak to me. In Proverbs 14:1, it says, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands." It speaks there that as a woman, we buildeth up our household. We are the glue that holds our home together. And that is such a special, special thing that the Lord has given us to withhold. And, if we're off one day, if our attitude, if our mood is giving negative energy, then you best believe that our husbands are going to share that same negative energy. And if you have children, your children are too, because we are the glue that holds it together. While our husbands are out working, while our children are at school, while we're trying to raise our children, we want to be that example. And we really are the person in the home that sets the mood for how our day is going to go, but also how our family is going to go. Another verse is in Proverbs 24:3. It says, "Through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established." Our house is built upon God. And if you don't have God as your foundation, if you don't remember why you're doing what you're doing and who you're doing it for, then you really have nothing. And that's such an important verse to remember, that you are doing what you're doing not only for yourself and for your family, but you're doing it most importantly for the Lord, because it's a wise decision unto the Lord to be doing these things for your family, to be the homemaker. And then, of course, in Proverbs 31, and these are very popular verses, it speaks in Proverbs 31 of the Proverbs 31 woman, as many people know that chapter as, and some of my favorites are verses 11 through 13. And it says, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. We do this to honor God. We do it to honor our husbands and our family. And by doing the things, the mundane things daily that become chores and that we sometimes feel unappreciated, just remember, again, that you're doing these for God, and that your husband doesn't have to worry about you daily if you're at home doing what you're supposed to be doing. Your marriage is so much more special and beautiful if you're doing the things of the Lord. And also the part where it says that she worketh willingly with her hands. We should not think of this as, yes, it is a job, but we shouldn't try to think of it as an annoying job. Like, we're not out in the field. If you're full-time getting to homemake at home, you are such a lucky woman. You are so special, and just keep doing what God has called you to do. You are working willingly with your hands to provide for your family in a way that is different. You're not providing financially, but don't ever feel less because you're not bringing money to the table. You're bringing everything else. You're that warm, loving, you are home to your children. Like I've said this before, your house is only a house until you make it a home. And you make it a home through the things that you do daily. Need I say more? This has touched my heart and really made me stop and think about things. And I really hope that it's touching yours too, because I think we forget the real reason why we do what we do as women. I really, truly do. And I don't want to forget that. I want to remember that. In Titus, I feel like these aren't as popular as the ones in Proverbs. Proverbs is just a very popular chapter and book of the Bible. But in Titus 2, verses 4 and 5, it says that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. We're meant to be at home. We're meant to be homemakers. We're meant to do these things, not, like I said, for ourselves, but for our husbands. And this also reminds me of that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. Homemaking isn't only just keeping your home, and everybody has their own opinions about what they want to do with their children as far as schooling. I personally hope to homeschool our children one day when we have kids. That's always been a desire of my heart, and also my husband's, that we would keep our children at home to homeschool them. And I feel like, especially in today's time, it's such a wise decision to also do that. That way they are getting raised, in a biblical, more education, I guess. So, I just think that verse, in a way, kind of hits on that, but for whatever reason, every time I read that verse, it just reminds me of, I guess it's where it says that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. I think that's why it reminds me of, to homeschool your children, and I'm sure you could find more biblical doctrine on that, but anywho, the last verse I'm going to share with you guys is 1 Timothy 5:14, and it says, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. I got married very young, and I always, again, had it as a desire of my heart to marry young. I didn't know, I knew that I was going to follow God's plan for my life, and I didn't know how young I would be. I always figured that I'd be married by the age of 25. I got married at 20. If some of you didn't know, I am only 22 years old, and fulfilling the desires of my heart, fulfilling the calling that God has laid upon my life. And I got married at 20. Me and my husband met when I was 19. 6 months later, we got engaged. And I had just turned 20 when we got engaged, and 6 months later we got married. So I was 6 months into being 20, and then 6 months later turned 21 after we got married. And I'm now 22. I'll be 23 this October. So yes, I love being a young wife. I understand it's not for everybody. You really have to know what God wants for your life to know if this is, if you're meant to marry young. Not all homemakers have to be young and get married, but I always knew that was the desire of my heart. And God, He gave me my husband at a young age, and we did get married rather quickly. I will say that, but when you know, and I don't regret that decision. I'm so thankful that I met my husband when I did, because we found each other when we needed each other, but also when God knew that we were ready for each other, because we wouldn't have been ready for each other if we would have met sooner. And I fully believe that. And our story is a very special story. It's quite a testimony, and maybe one day I'll share that with you guys. But anywho, so that was just kind of on my heart, and I wanted to share that with you guys. But as y'all saw, some of my other morning rituals is to also start one load of laundry, fold one load of laundry and put it away, make your bed, and focus on, again, your self-care. Take a shower, do your skincare, get dressed for the day, and it really just changes everything to just do these tasks, but in between these tasks, take time for yourself to take care of yourself. And I love this. I do. I really love it. And I know I've talked this whole video, so I'm going to let you guys enjoy some more of this video. But the last 2 rituals of mine are to nourish your body, make yourself a well-balanced breakfast. I do eggs and fruit every morning, and occasionally I'll add in some bacon. Usually on the weekends I'll do bacon, but I have been loving just eating eggs and a side of fruit every single morning. It's just been my favorite. And I usually drink orange juice with this. For some reason, I only like coffee on its own. I don't like to drink coffee with food. I think it just tastes differently, and I don't really like how it tastes. So I just always drink a different beverage and wash my palate and then go back to coffee. It's very weird. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I do. I still have my coffee and I have to warm it up. But so I make eggs and a side of fruit every single morning. It's just my favorite. It makes me feel really good, energized. And if your body feels good, then you're also going to feel good. So, and then also don't forget to drink your water daily, and get your water in as well. And then while I eat breakfast, I check emails. I reply back to you guys on YouTube. I reply on social media. I scroll through social media. I do all that, get caught up on all that stuff. And kind of just have that time to eat and do that. And then my last is Bible study and prayer. Spend time with God in the mornings or at night, whenever you have the time. Spend time with God. Get in His Word, study, read. You can always look up things online too. If there's a particular topic that you're wanting to know more about, like homemaking, for instance, or maybe you want to know more about marriage, or like a biblical, godly relationship, or you're dating and you want to know more about dating, you can always find biblical references and stuff online. You can look those up. That's one beautiful thing about the internet. You're not having to find things in books anymore. You can just go through the internet and see what there's commentaries on there. I know there's John Vernon McGee commentaries online that you can find if you don't have the books, and you can find verses that can also lead to different references. I have a reference study Bible. It's a Scofield study Bible, and it has the references and notes and stuff in it, so I can always go through everything. But yeah, just spend time in prayer and spend time with God. And I promise, if you follow these 10 rituals every single day in your homemaking, your day and your life is going to be so much better. You are going to feel so much better. You have purpose, and you have purpose. And again, you just result in a happy, healthy, and clean home. And your mood is going to reflect, and it's going to shine onto your children and your husband, and it's just going to make for a really great day and a beautiful life. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new. I would love to start talking more, about the Bible and maybe throwing more videos in like this where we kind of just sit down and chat about God and, the Bible and study and why we do what we do But anywho, if you have any video recommendations, you can always leave those down below. Or if you have a prayer request, I would love to pray for you. And that is all that I have for you guys today. So I will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.